Well, good morning. Let's talk Fremont, brought to you by the Fremont Local Market downtown Riverton, where everything is locally produced. Breads, pies, pastries, local meats from local ranches. We've got, of course, fresh vegetables from all over the county. We do have buffalo meat there now, whole chickens, and, of course, chocolate. So stop on by. Open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the Fremont Local Market, downtown Riverton. Well, this is Ernie over, and here I am this morning with Carlta Witthar from the Shoshoni Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Carlta.
Good morning. It's a little cloudy, but at least it's not raining.
Yeah. Boy, did you get that rain last night?
We did. I didn't hear it. We don't hear the rain on our house. It's an old, insulated house, so you don't hear the rain unless. Well, we could hear that when you had hail. It would hit on something metal. But the rain we don't really hear.
Well, boy, it was a good one. We had a little mudslide in the Wind River Canyon last night. It was 18 inches deep, and had to get the whiteout out and clean that off. It's off now. But, boy, did it rain yesterday out in my place. Holy smokes, it was, what they call a gully washer.
Oh, dear.
And I had lakes all over my yard. But, it's nice and pleasant here today. As usual, we're right next to the poultry barn, and occasionally you might hear them crowing and clucking away because they've been pretty active so far this morning.
They certainly are. I can hear them. They're waking us all up.
They are, yes, although a little bit late. Well, Carlta, what's happening in Shoshoni?
Well, we're going to do something fun and different on the August 19th. We're going to do a Shoshoni Chamber pie and ice cream social.
Ooh.
And all of our members are invited, and we just sit down and visit. And so that's going to be at the SRD building from 1 to 3. So we'd like all of our members to just come by and say hello, and we'll visit and talk about what's going on and what people want to do for this next year.
Okay, so that's for the Shoshoni Chamber members.
Right, and our latest Shoshoni Gem Award went to Ann Allen and Berta Fender, and I think they may have done a new one this week, but I haven't got that information yet. So we have a little sign that we put out on the lawn, and they give them a gift card to say, we're really glad you're keeping everything so nice, and it's making nice. Shoshoni look good. Sure.
Well, there have been so many improvements in Shoshoni over the last couple of years. It really is a different looking town now.
It is. The torn down part doesn't look so much, and there's other new things there, and the fast lane, every time you go by, it looks, look there now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at how many lanes there are going to be. My goodness.
Yeah.
Won't have those cars standing on the road trying to get in.
Yeah, well, they've got separate fueling stations for the cars and one for the trucks now, so that'll help the congestion a lot there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the trucks a lot of times wouldn't come in because they couldn't, have a way to get in there. So it probably is going to really help their diesel sales. Yeah. That's for sure. Well, we want to talk a little bit about our members, and the first one on our list right now, we're kind of starting from the top again, is out of their bottom, is the Wyoming 5-shot rabbit hunt.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to start go in January, and their dates for this year is January 10th and 13th. So they are going to do that in Shoshoni, and they haven't decided yet if they're going to do the entertainment part on the evenings at the SRD building or the community room.
Sure.
Anyway, keep an eye out, and we'll keep you posted on what else gets going on.
It was a tough year last year for the rabbit hunt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had all that snow.
I think they ended up with 3 teams.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you find a white rabbit in all that snow? I'm amazed if they actually found any.
I think they came away with a couple, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. So that was great, and we'll give you more information when it gets closer. One of our members in Lander is the Haguar and Associates, and that's with Justin Haguar. Oh, we got noise back there.
Yeah.
And his clients come to them when they need agreements for their businesses, financial protection for their family, maybe a trust fund, and to build money for retirement and pay for college. So there's a lot of things they can that the Mr. Haguar can help you with. And one of our realtors is the Home Source Realty with George Piplica, and that's on 804 West Main, and they're there to lend any kind of help they can, and they can help you get lending. They also do property management and rentals, and they can expand their audience by working with Realtor.com so that more people can come in and see what's here in Riverton.
Yeah.
And they are at 804 West Main.
Yeah, right at North 8th West in Maine.
Right, and it's 856-4663. And one of our favorite places in Shoshoni is the Shoshoni Senior Center, and their regular hours are Monday to Friday, 8 to 3, and they're closed Saturday and Sunday. And then Sunday they are open and from 10 to 1, and they have a nice dinner. They have all sorts of good things they do. They have bingo, sewing and quilting, afternoon exercises, a book club. They do now have public transportation.
Oh, yeah, great.
They can get a ride into Riverton on Wednesdays, and it costs $10. They have fun little art things. They have artistic adventures, scented wax sachets, rock painting, door wreaths, and canvas painting, so you never know what you can find when you get there.
You know, the rock painting is really interesting because every once in a while you'll be walking down the sidewalk or street or something, and there's a painted rock. And you go like, where in the world did that come from?
My daughter, when she was young, said, Mom, I want to paint rocks and sell them. And I said, oh, you can never do that.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And their board meeting is August 17th, so keep that in mind if you want to go see that, talk to their, I'm sure it's open, and
Okay.
to the Senior Center's board. Our Bailey Enterprises and this Speedway Cafe are our member too, and they're at 811 South Fedville Boulevard, right across the way here from the fairgrounds. And their hours, I talked to them, see what those are. Monday and Tuesday, it's 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday is 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday at 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday is 7 to 3. And Sunday it's 7 to 8. So they stay late on Sunday.
And that's the Speedway Cafe.
Yes. And
Yes, uh-huh.
they've got quite a record. They have a lot of good things. There's the thing that I like is omelets. So build your own omelets, breakfast sandwiches, and any kind of breakfast meal you'd want, and a lot of good lunch things too.
And you don't go away hungry.
They have big
portions.
Big portions, yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And Napa Auto Parts. And I was talking to their manager, and their sale this week is AC refrigerant and diesel oil. So you can come in there and get that for a really good price. They're open Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sundays 10 to 4. So you can get in there anytime you need it.
Okay, very good. Napa Auto Parts.
Right. And our Shoshoni events, it's coming up really this week on tomorrow, Saturday, on is the Shoshoni Hot Summer Nights Music Festival.
All right.
They've got 6 entertainers. They're going to start at 3:45. There's beer and food, and they're going to do that at the town plaza there, that new little thing. Yep. And they've got I'm going to list their performers: Shauna Whitaker, Coop DeVille, Chain Mantis, Christian Wallowing Bull, Brandon James, Full Blown Mosey, and Eternal Realtor. Eternal Reality.
Eternal Reality. Okay, that's the lineup for the Shoshoni Hot Nights.
Yes, and it's free. You just come down, and they'll have places for you to sit, Hopley, or bring your chairs.
Bring your own chairs. Yeah.
Yes, and then at the Lucky Five Lounge on August 11th, they're going to have Keenan Flannery from Dublin with the Oklahoma folks musician Isaac Elliott.
Oh, a little bit of Celtic music.
Yes, I've always loved that. And August 12th, the Boyson State Park is doing a historical adventure trek, and that's through the Riverton Museum, and so that would be really fun. So you're going to bring your lunch and water, but to make reservations, you need to call the museum and that's 856-2665. So that would be a good thing to walk around Boyson.
Now, you got a new thing coming up on this coming Monday, don't you? It's the Hot Notes Cool Nights. First time the CWC Community Band has been in Shoshoni.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, Monday night, 7 o'clock at the Town Plaza.
And I kept looking at that Monday nights. That's, that little place is really going gung ho.
Yeah, they're using it a lot, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they do. And the other thing that's going to happen down there is on Labor Day Saturday. So that's September 2nd. And they're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. They're going to have a car show there. They're going to do a cornhole tournament. And that's going to have cash prizes for first to third. And they're going to have dunk tanks, live DJ, bouncy houses. They had plural there.
Yeah.
Food vendors, craft vendors. And then the evening music is going to be at 7:30 from Keelan Smith. I'm not a first Keelan or Kellen. But anyway, they're going to have music.
All right.
And
that's Labor Day.
Labor Day.
All right.
This Saturday of the Labor Day weekend.
Saturday of the Labor Day weekend.
And just the Boyson Marina, their hours are, they're closed Monday and Tuesday, but they're open the other days of the week. And they have lunch and they have supper. And they're going to have music this Saturday. So if you stop in, they'll have lunch, have supper, and then you can have some music too.
All right, that sounds good. Nothing better than live music.
It is. And the important thing around here now is the junior livestock sale is going to be this. What is today? It'll be there tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow, and they moved it up to 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, the junior livestock sale in the show pavilion here at the Fremont County Fairgrounds.
That's a wonderful way for the, it's a great thing for the kids to be able to do all that hard work and get all their showing done, and then to get some money back for it. So.
Get a little paycheck too.
Yeah. And the kids that's how they get to college, so it's really important.
Yeah, and for the younger ones, that's how they get their next year's livestock.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other thing that's going to be happening is on August 26th, it's going to be an open house to the CWC Rustler Ag and Equine Complex grand opening. They're going to let you go in and see what those great big buildings are, and I'm anxious to see what they're going to do, be able to do now and do much better for all the horse things that happen there, because they have a big horse classes and
yeah. Well, we've got.
information.
Since I'm one of the trustees at CWC, I can tell you that we have two big arenas inside that 85,000 square foot building.
Oh, wow.
One is a competition arena, and one is for dressage, for horses. So we got a cattle one, a horse one, and we've got a big outdoor arena as well. And our meat science classes are going to be in there, and our ag classes are going to be in there, things like farrier and things like that. And it's going to be a great thing. So we got some music lined up, and we'll have the radio station there as well, talking about it all day long. August 26th at CWC. It's where the Riverton Raiders play their baseball games? Well, it's right alongside of the Raider baseball park on the north side of the campus.
If you went to see the balloons, it's just right next to where the balloons are.
It's right
There's
next
a
to where
road
the
back
balloons
there
are.
that you just can.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be able to see cars going in there. We went around to look for it.
Yes.
But we're the Shoshoni Chamber. We're hoping that all the people that attend our events and hear about our members will support them and stop in and take a look at all their goods.
Well, the interesting thing is, Carlta, when people hear about an event, it's in Shoshoni, and so, hey, let's take a road trip.
Yes.
Let's go out to Shoshoni. I mean, they've got that beautiful new town plaza and the big new store downtown, right smack dab at the crossroads there. And so there's just all sorts of activities that you can take part in.
It's really growing, and we're trying to keep it all. We had a thing on the back of our worksheet for renewal, and one of the things was we need to know more about the events.
Yeah.
So I should have brought one. We're putting a little tripods in our restaurants that have our events on it, on a monthly basis. So
right.
So
Yeah.
we've gotten June and July, but we got to get August in next.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to do. So people, when they're out having dinner or breakfast, lunch, whatever, they can see what the events are in Shoshone and then make plans to be there. So we're going to have a lot of live music coming up in Shoshone, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and Labor Day events. And, of course, it's known as the biggest little town by a dam site. And, of course, the dam is poison. So, yeah, it's really good. So what else, Carlta? Anything else going on today?
Not that I know of today, and we'll have people still come here to the see all the animals for the kids that they work so hard to, and check out the fair.
Just as we were getting set up, I went to the Furs and Feather Pavilion, which is right next door. And you can probably hear the roosters and everything crowing over there, doing their morning call. But the rabbits are in now. The rabbits came in yesterday, so we got a nice little selection
Fuzzies.
of bunnies over there. Those are always cool.
We had one on our lawn last night, and my husband says, "Carlta, come here." And there was a little tiny rabbit about this size.
Little tiny rabbit there.
Little
I had
tiny
the one at the radio station this morning.
Oh, maybe he hopped over there.
Well, it's very possible. But I want to shout out Emma Wynn from Lander, has the best in show rabbit. And tell you what, I'll show you here. It's really a good-looking rabbit.
Oh, black ears and black nose.
Yeah.
White all over.
Yeah, that's a good-looking rabbit. So
It is.
if you get to the Furs and Feathers Pavilion, you'll have to go in there and see the best of show rabbit. So that's pretty cool. Well, we appreciate you coming twice a month, Carlta, and letting us know what's happening in the growing and exciting town of Shoshone.
I'm glad to be here.
You betcha. All right, and we'll be back. We're going to throw it back to Rusty at the radio station for these messages, and then come right back with our Commander's Corner. Ernie Over back with you at the Fremont County Fair in Riverton, and we've got Mike Higgs with Commander's Corner. But first of all, I want to tell you about the Lander Bake Shop downtown Lander. We were just talking about pancakes,
Yes,
and
we were.
they just now have some great new addition to their menu. They've got buttermilk pancakes now at the Lander Bake Shop, and a bunch of wonderful things to put on top of them. So, they've got lunches, they've got salads, they've got pastries, they've got delicious things to snack on at the Lander Bake Shop. And just stop on by, say hi to Angie, go in there and get your hot beverage that you would like, tea or coffee. And, of course, they also have the ones that aren't hot, so in terms of temperature. So, stop by the Lander Bake Shop on Main Street there in Lander. We like to welcome them as one of our sponsors to the program. Well, I just mentioned we have Mike Higgs here from the Veterans Hall in Riverton. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Just Ducky, how are you?
Well, I'm glad you said just Ducky, because we're right next to the Fur and Feathers Pavilion.
Yes,
and
we are.
We've got ducks and geese and chickens and roosters, and they are crowing up a storm this morning.
They are awake.
Yeah. And Carlta comes back. Did you leave your keys on the table?
I don't see them.
That's the bad thing. Carlta misplaced her car keys, so I don't see them over here, Carlta.
I don't see them on the ground.
I don't have any pockets,
So,
and they weren't in the car.
and they weren't in the car. Well, you better backtrack and see if they're on the ground somewhere. So, as soon as we get done here, we'll help you look. So,
All right.
yeah. So, Mike Higgs, back to you now. We talked about you being Ducky, and
Yep.
we're right next to the Fur and Feathers Pavilion, and we got a lot of feathers over there. And I was in there the other day taking photos, and oh my goodness gracious, the variety of chickens,
Just astounding.
and they're so good looking too. I mean,
Yes.
they're pretty exotic. But the rabbits came in yesterday, so they do have some rabbits there now. But tell us about what's happening at Veterans Hall.
We are marching on with a steady pace. We've had veterans come in that we were able to help.
Oh, good.
And like I said, we're just going on standard.
All right. So the Veterans Hall is right downtown Riverton. It's right alongside the Ranger.
Yep.
Downtown Riverton. And any veteran from any conflict is welcome to show up. You can just sit down and chat if you want.
Yep.
You can join one of the many organizations that are headquartered there. If you have questions on what your benefits might be, they can help you find those.
Yes.
And, of course, you need the DD 214.
Yes. And again, we've had a lady come in. Her husband had passed away, and she didn't have the DD 214, and we were able to help her get that and get the benefits going.
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, that's the honorable discharge paper.
Yes, sir.
From the military. Yeah. So that's pretty key. Now, what are your hours there, Mike, at the Veterans Hall?
Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and Saturday from 10 to 2.
9 to 1 and 10 to 2. So the Monday through Friday, 9 to 1, and Saturday is 10 to 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So it gets you a little extra time to sleep in on Saturday.
Yes.
Now, we mentioned you don't have to be a member
Nope.
of Veterans Hall or the VFW or the American Legion or the Marine Corps League or the Disabled American Veterans to go in and get services. If you are a veteran in any service, Carlta found her keys. All right, that's good. Of any service, you're eligible for benefits, and you can go to the Veterans Hall to find out what they are or how to get them.
Yes. We help anybody, like you said, from any walk of life, whatever branch you were in, and you don't have to be a member. You just come on in, and we'll get whatever you need going.
All right, and you just said the spouse of a deceased veteran came
Yes.
in and needed some help, and you were able to help her too. Yeah.
Spouse or a child.
Or child. Yeah. Well, that's good. You've got a beautiful setup downtown Riverton, right next to the Ranger.
Yes, the Rangers got a very, I mean, they did a real nice uplift of the face of the entire building, and you can't help but miss it, or not miss it.
Not miss it, yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
And we're right next door to it at 417 East Main Street, and you just come on.
You know, the fun thing is I stop in there every once in a while just to see what's going
yes, you
on
do.
and have a cup of coffee. And it's always fun to listen to the stories that are being told by the folks that are in there. And there's usually somebody new in the group when I stop in. But you know, one of the things that veterans struggle with sometimes is reliving their military service, and sometimes they have the PTSD. Veterans Hall is a place you can go, non-judgmental, and you can talk whatever you want to talk about. And there is someone there who's been there, and they can help you.
Yes. We have some Mariners, Army, Navy, Marine Corps. Everybody's had something, and they're discussing it.
Yeah. And so any question you have, you can go there and get that question answered, or they'll direct you to where you can get it answered.
As I like to say, with some of the people that come in, I may not know the answer, but I know how to get it.
You know how to get it. That's right. I was particularly proud last night. My cousin, Richard Pence, Ricky, was the lead flyer in the flyover at the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
awesome.
He had his, I forget what they call the plane. It's the helicopter is the Black Hawk, but his is the Nighthawk or something. I don't remember, I'm sorry. But anyway, he was the lead pilot last night in the flyover, and that's really, really cool. So when he comes back to town, Veterans Hall is a place he can go to stop in and see what's happening.
Yep. Yes, he can. And we've got plenty of Air Force in there that knows everything about anything that flies. So you'll have good conversation.
Yeah, and of course, he was an aviator. But that same thing applies.
Yes.
And you've had people from the submarine service.
Yep.
In Veterans Hall, you've had the infantry, the whole shebang. Yeah, the CBs.
Yes.
They've been in there
in fact,
too.
we just had one gentleman join that was a CB.
Oh yeah. And the CBs, of course, were the construction crews of the military. They came in and made sure everything was working, and you can get from
They
point
built
A to
and
point
fought
B.
at the same time.
You betcha. So the interesting thing about Veterans Hall is the open door. No, what am I trying to say here? No discrimination of
none whatsoever.
Women
no.
are allowed. Women veterans, male veterans. If you just joined the service, you can pop in. Or if you've been, say, in World War II and you haven't been engaged in anything and you just want to stop in and see what's happening, you can do that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as women, we just had the new quartermaster for the VFW is female.
Oh, that's great. So there's no reason not to go.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I know you guys always have the coffee pot on.
Always.
You know, it's
I
like...
live on that.
Yeah, it's like my dad was in the Navy, and he always enjoyed a good cup of Joe and the homemade donuts. That was his. Mom used to make those homemade donuts. And Dad would just love those, you know, and have a cup of coffee and a homemade donut, and you get the same thing. They're not homemade though; they're just made down the street.
Yes, right down the street.
Right down the street, yeah. So we've got something coming up later this fall. We'll have Veterans Day.
Yes, Veterans Day and the Veterans Day breakfast, which is being handled by the ladies at the First Interstate Bank, like they did last year, and they're taking it. I mean, just came right down and said, "We're doing it. Don't you guys worry about it."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yes, ma'am."
Of course, that's November 11th, and they'll have the breakfast at probably where, at the Fremont Center.
Yes, at the Fremont Center.
Okay.
Right over here.
Right over here on the fairgrounds. So mark that on your calendar, and remember to come and get a really great breakfast. And thank the ladies at First Interstate Bank for putting that together. Now
they're getting together with the city, the people of the city of Riverton. So. It's a conglomeration of them all.
Yeah, and they're kind of leading the charge.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's really great. Now, we want to talk a little bit about stuff that's going on at the fair here today. And I know Sean was really interested in the, what was it, the Cupcake War.
Oh, yeah.
That's today. 4 o'clock. That's at 4 o'clock here today. They're having the cupcakes. There's a Lego contest going on here today from 3 to 5. Of course, the night entertainment is a ticketed event, and that is the motocross tonight. So that's going to be really, really exciting. Yeah. You were there last year, weren't you, Sean?
Yeah, motocross didn't happen last year. Monster trucks happened last year.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. I met a couple different people who I'm still good friends with now. that have monster trucks. I never thought I'd befriend someone with a monster truck, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Last night was great. Motocross tonight. I'm just excited to see how they turn that into a motocross
really.
course, because that'll be fun.
Yes.
And then they just got to tear it all down, flatten it out, and make a figure-8 race for the next night. So
Anybody win the Timmy Challenge last night? Did
Yes.
we have anybody ride a bull?
yes, so in the younger version, or in the mini bulls, it was a local kid, Eli Ruby. He's from Pavilion. He's Aiden Ruby's brother. And then Wyatt Scott, another local kid. They both finished in the top 2 with the mini bulls. And then in the adult version, or in the high schoolers, there was a couple kids from around here. Only 3 were able to last, and the guy that won it all is actually from Jackson. His name is Brody Hasenick. I talked to him for like 5 minutes. He's a cool kid.
Yeah.
He goes to college down in Texas, but he said that whenever there's a chance to ride rodeo up in Wyoming, he has to take it, because it's better up here. He said it's less humid, better crowds. He said everything about rodeoing in Wyoming is better than rodeoing down south.
Well, rodeo is Wyoming's state sport.
Oh, heavens, yes.
If you didn't know that, it is. And so our rodeo crowds are very knowledgeable, and when you do something spectacular, they reward you with the recognition that you deserve.
Yeah, for sure. And I always thought that rodeo would be a lot harder to cover as a sport, but man, they make it really easy for you out here, which I really like.
You know, we're looking, Sean just went down and took some photos of the Market Beef Show, and we've got kids from Lander and Shoshoni and Crowheart and Riverton and other places around the county. I think we've got a Du Bois in here, Pavilion is in here. You know, a lot of kids from around the county are participating. And Hudson, of course, we have to remember the kids from Hudson. But you know, beef cattle, that's a pretty big industry here in Fremont County. And of course, we have the big beef show up at Central Wyoming College, which is going to be held in conjunction with the grand opening of the Rustler Ag and Equine Center this year, August 26th. So mark that down on your calendar. But today's going to be a fun day. They're showing all the market beef and all the beef showmanship, and then tomorrow morning here at the fair is the payoff day. That's the junior livestock sale at the show pavilion. That's just going to be tremendous. These are the kids have been working all year long, the FFA 4-H kids, on their animals, and here comes the payday. They get to show them, and then folks get to bid on them in the arena. So you know, and I know a lot of these kids are from military families. You know, they have to have not only the strength and determination, but the focus, and those are things you learn in the military. Yep. Did you ever raise an animal when you were a kid?
No, I was born and raised in St. Louis, and there wasn't what I did was welding, technical stuff.
Oh, technical stuff.
Yeah, I went all through high school doing welding.
Well, you know, that's part of the interesting thing at the Fremont Center today. We have some welding exhibits in there of kids that have done that.
Stop by and look.
And the 4-H at Heritage Hall. It really is amazing the various talents that are showcased here at the Fremont County Fair, which is, I think this is the biggest county fair in Wyoming, if my memory serves me correctly.
I think so, too. I think we were talking about that when we made our Fremont County Fair tab. I mean, if you want to count the Cheyenne Frontier Days as a fair, which I don't think very many people do, but this is a real fair coming from western Kansas, and this is a real fair. And I think I mentioned it yesterday on the show. We had a 3-day fair that everyone in southwest Kansas kind of shows up for. I've never experienced a 10-day fair have as many events and as many people as this, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. There's something going on all the time. I especially like the little entertainment zone that they have over there.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a comedian over there, and they've got a guy last night was
the magician.
The magician was pulling somebody out of the crowd, putting them in a straitjacket, and said, "Okay, so let's see if you can get out of this." And to show him how, he did it first.
Really?
Yeah, and then they've got kind of like knock the bottle off the shelf, but it's instead it's electronic. You have to get the ball into the middle of the target, and you earn points for prizes and things like that. And if you need a new cowboy hat, this is the place to come. Let me tell you what.
Cool beans.
There were 200 new cowboy hats over there.
And the leather and the shoes and the boots. They got everything over there.
Yeah, exactly. And the Egg Barn right alongside of us, I was in there last night taking some pictures, and they've got the hay show. so you can see the people who have produced the best hay. They've got all sorts of honey. I didn't realize how many honey producers we have here in the county. And the Paws for Life Animal League, they've got dogs and cats up for adoption there. They're right in the arena.
One of our veterans is a honey producer.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah. Well, they've got little 2 displays there of a hive with a glass window, so you can see in the hive and see what they're doing, which is really it's
That's awesome.
mesmerizing.
Yes, it is.
You just sit there and you're looking at these bees working, and it just is really, really a lot of fun. So if you need a calming influence in your life, come down to the Fremont County Fair and go look at the bees in the hive.
Yes.
You'll just sit there for hours and look at those things. And then right next to us, I mentioned the Fur and Feathers, or the Feathers and Fur Pavilion. They've got the bunny rabbits in there today. Of course, we've had the chickens and roosters and ducks and geese. And let's see, what else? Oh, we had the goose.
Yeah.
The gooses. The geese.
The gooses.
The gooses.
The gooses.
The geese are in there, too. So just a lot of fun here. Now, one of the things, Mike, that I like to talk about when we discuss at Veterans Hall is how friendly you guys are. I mean, you guys have been through the ringer.
Yes, sir.
You've been there. You've done that. You came out, and you're able to help other veterans who might need a little help.
I think it's just for the fact that we have been through pretty much everything that we can appreciate the fact that life is sweet. And we pass that on to everybody that comes through.
Yeah, exactly. And, again, if life isn't so sweet for you right now, you guys know where to send them to get help.
Yeah, yes. And, again, we try and help everybody with a smile on their face and a welcome hand.
That's right. It's a nice spot, too. You've got a really nice area, to sit down and chat and have coffee and just talk amongst you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things. If you've never been down there, they're open from 9 to 1 on Monday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturday. The door is always open.
Yep.
You can go in there and have a cup of coffee. Just sit. You don't even have to say anything. You can just look around.
On those rare occasions that you come down and find that the door is not open during normal working hours, it's because that a lot of us are on the funeral honor guard detail.
Yeah.
And it's because every one of us is at that detail. And you'll find the sign up saying that we're closed due to an honor guard detail, and it'll have the hour that we'll be back open.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because you are open all the time there,
Yes.
except when you have an honor guard funeral detail.
Yeah, last week I had to put a sign up saying that we were closed due to an honor guard detail, and that we'd be back open at 11 o'clock.
Unfortunately, we're losing a lot of our World War II vets, aren't we?
Heavens, yes.
Yeah, and some of the Korean War vets as well. But that's the interesting thing. You've got members from WW2, the Korean War, the Gulf conflict, the Middle East conflict, all the way up through the Balkans, when the not United Nations, NATO
yes.
participated in that. Well, there were American fighters in that war, too. So no matter what kind of conflict you had, there's a place for you to sit down and talk about it or hear other people's stories, too. That's the neat thing. You can hear other people's stories.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I've been there, it's interesting. Guys are talking, and I just sit down there and listen because it's educational. Here are people who have been there and done that. We thank them for their service, and now they're giving back to us.
Yes. Now, speaking of the giving back, I wanted to remind everybody that on the third Thursday of every month from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, there's free coffee at the I keep forgetting names. The Brown Sugar Roastery.
Brown Sugar Roastery. Yeah.
Again, that's 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, free.
That's the third Thursday.
Third Thursday of every month.
Uh-huh.
And that's going along real well. And the American Legion is holding a raffle for a side of beef. The tickets are $5 per ticket, or a book of 5 for $20.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, and that's, people are responding real well for that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, half a beef?
Half a beef, heavens, yes.
Yeah, that is really good.
I would also be excited about that.
Yeah. You have got one of the champion all-time raffle ticket sellers in the Veterans Hall.
We had.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don moved on.
He did.
To Oklahoma to be with his.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
To be with his sister and his.
He told me
niece.
that last time. I'd forgotten that. Yeah.
So we're going to be hard pressed to replace him for selling tickets.
So if you like to sell tickets, if you like people, just go down there and sell tickets for Veterans Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good. And again, the hours of Veterans Hall are 9 to 1 Monday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturday. And it's right alongside the Ranger, downtown Riverton. And, the remodeling that we've been doing at the newspaper has also benefited you guys.
Heavens, yes.
Yeah, you have your own restroom.
We have our own restroom now. Door and everything.
That's right.
Took a while to get the door on there, but we got the door there now.
Got the door there now. We had shared facilities before.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Well, Mike, anything else that you want to pass along to us today?
Just the telephone number.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one to know.
307-463-0963. And again, anytime you need anything, just come on down. We'll be more than happy to help.
Let's replay that number.
That's 307-463-0963.
Okay, we've been talking with Mike Higgs, and you are the commander of the
Veterans Hall and the DAV.
Veterans and the Disabled American Veterans,
Yes.
the DAV. All right.
I got a question for him, though. As the sports director, I have to ask, do you pay attention much to the St. Louis Cardinals anymore? They haven't been good since that shirt you're wearing.
I know.
Even with, did you watch last year when Pujols came back?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. As a Kansas City fan, I was a Cardinals fan for 1 year. That was it. So
through the highs and lows, I was born. Like I said, I was born and raised in St. Louis, and through the highs and lows, I've always been a Cardinals fan.
Growing
up in Kansas City, we would either go to St. Louis for mini vacations, or we'd go to starts with a B. It has the Wax Museum, and I'll remember it later. But we used to go out to St. Louis, and we used to go on the Arch, and we'd have a lot of fun. And I went to one Cardinals game, and it was when the Royals were still really bad, which, I mean, that's like every year except for 2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Albert Pujols hit 2 home runs, and he knocked in like 6 RBIs against us. The game was over by like the 3rd inning. So that was a fun field stadium, though. It was a lot of fun.
I think one of the biggest St. Louis Cardinal fans in the state of Wyoming is Kevin McKinney down in Laramie at the University of Wyoming. He lives, breathes, and dies St. Louis Cardinals and goes and sees many of the games and things like that. But it's fun to have a little hobby like that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And, of course, that's the other thing you can do down there at Veterans Hall is talk about what sports teams are your favorites.
Heavens, yes.
Yeah.
I get some regular, how should I say, heated discussions about sports down there sometimes.
A little bit of rivalries. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Cause
we do that at the paper, too.
Yeah, we do. I think it happens in almost every office. You know, you got people who are real fans of whatever, and they go out and they do that. We've been talking with Mike Higgs from Veterans Hall this morning. Mike, we always thank you coming in. You guys come in once a month.
It's always a pleasure.
We appreciate it, and imparting information to our veterans. And again, if you are a veteran in any conflict and you haven't been down to Veterans Hall, or you need something, be it health or documents or whatever, you can go to Veterans Hall and they'll point you in the right direction or answer your
even get the
questions.
paperwork started. Yep.
Okay, downtown Riverton, right alongside the Ranger, Veterans Hall. And Mike, we appreciate you coming. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, Mike.
We will send it back to Rusty at the radio station here, and a little bit of music before we hit the top of the hour. Again, I want to remind you that Let's Talk Fremont is brought to you by the Fremont Local Market, 524 East Main Street in Riverton. They're open from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Tuesday through Sunday, and everything they have there is local. Local meat, local vegetables, local pastries. They have local peanut butter. They have local spices from the Yellowstone Spice Company. They've got the goat cheese from Missouri Valley. They've got not live, but they've got whole chickens that come in. They also have buffalo meat now, so stop down and check and see if you'd like some of that really great lean buffalo meat. They've got that at the Fremont Local Market. 10 to 6, Monday through Thursday. It's your full-time indoor farmers market. This is Ernie over, sending it back to the radio station, and you guys have a great day, and we'll see you down here at the fair.